Hi everyone, this is Triple T, and today I'm taking a look at Cang Toys CT-CHIYOU-03 Firmament, or Divebomb as I like to call him. First, let's look at the packaging, and as always, it looks epic with this wonderful piece of art here. If you turn it around without knocking things over, you have a picture of the alt mode, and on top you have barcodes and stuff I can read and stuff I unfortunately can't. Here we have Divebomb in his glory. He's a bit much to handle, so I'm going to take off the wings for a lot of this review, but it doesn't make him any less gorgeous. I'm going to fold those out. I'm going to talk about them a bit later, but first, let's get up and personal, shall we? He has his little face there, and of course you can fold this away if you want to look at his... It looks kind of bald without the bird head, but that's nice too. So, and nice transparent plastic there, gold, tampographs, gunmetal grey, everything I love. I don't love tampographs, but they're okay. You have some very birdy legs and feet. You can splay these out, just a hint. And on the back, he is just a lot of wings. But they look so epic. Before we get to articulation, I'm going to go through the accessories because he's wearing the accessories and I want to take them off before we do articulation because that will just ease things up. He's called Firmament, but he should be called Armament because it comes with 3 swords, 4 guns, and that's just much for a figure this size, I think. First of all, you have these who can double as feathers. I'm just going to take this off like that. These who can double as guns or feathers or actually handheld weapons because you have that little indentation there so he can hold it in his hands. This is also a feather, but if you pull it out, it can also be a sword. And I actually think this sword is more beautiful than the one he also comes with, which is this. It looks good, but you know, I'm not a fan of the orange. Silver or gunmetal grey would have been so much better. And of course, it comes with his 2 guns that can either be pegged on to his wings or he can hold them on these, underslung or slung, I don't know. And they can rotate in both directions, and you're going to have to rotate them like that for combine mode later on. You have another little tab here that you can use for handheld. You have a tab here that actually for the combine mode, but you still have stuff to do. And of course you can put them together if you want to, but again, that's more for combine mode. Let's do a flyby just so you can see how gorgeous these are. Right? And lastly, of course, it comes with the hand that's going to attach to him in arm mode. Now for articulation. If we fold the head, this bird head away, he has more articulation for his head. He can do a 360 with it. This piece is the underside of the beak. So when you put it back in, be sure to put it in that little slot there, or otherwise it will probably tear off some gold paint. Or I don't know if it's paint or if it's in the plastic, because I haven't seen any scrapage so far. Thankfully. Okay, so the head can do a 360. The arms can do a 360. If you untransform it, it can go out to there as well. It goes very high up like that. No, you're supposed to go down. You have a bicep rotation. You have a double hinged elbow here. Can be a bit stiff sometimes. You have the same magnificent hands you have on all these bots. I mean, look at them. Look at all the things you can do. You can fold it outwards. You have ball pegs, so you can splay them out a bit. Not as much as the combiner hand, of course, but still. And you have the inverted tab there. Oh, I like them. Let's fold the arms up for now. He can, of course, turn his waist. If you separate him for arm mode, he has an ab crunch, but then he also gets really tall, so that's just, I don't know, I'm not going to do that. You can fold these skirt pieces out, there are 3 of them, and his legs come up to about there, not that high, not that far back, and if we take that to the side, he can almost do 90 there. These legs are a bit on the strange side because they have a lot of hinges and they break transformation fairly easy. Fairly easy, I say. I mean, you have to use a lot of force to get them where you want to get them. So that's, you have a double hinged knee here, which gets you about that high. You have your little foot that you can tilt up and down to the side, and for stability you can splay the toes out, but that's more for beast mode than anything else. One last little feature I want to mention is that he can actually have his wings like a shield, but you have to transform a lot of stuff on him, so I won't do that, but I want to show you how this can look, and it looks fairly much like this. You can angle these forward if you want guns, so he's a mobile fortress. And for comparison, I'm bringing in my Jetfire from War for Cybertron, just to make you see the height here. He isn't a masterpiece, but he's so good he should be a masterpiece, so I actually have him displayed with my masterpieces. Now, we're going to transform him, and we're going to start by getting him into arm mode. We'll save the best for last, and I promise, when we get to the bird mode, I'll bring the wings back. But the wings are supposed to be off for arm mode, because the wings are supposed to be on King, as we all know. Okay, let's get started. Unhinge his head. And as you can see, there are a lot of hinges here. Turn his head around. Fold the beak up, and your arm there, I don't know if you can see, but there is a tab there and there's a port there, and that head is supposed to go in there, and that's not the most easy thing to do, but when you get it, you get it. There. Now we're going to hinge back the head so it folds down and over and looks like, well, it looks like a birdman, like so. You come to the arms, you fold these panels up. Why don't they fold up? Thank you. And as with every other bot in this set, you have to have the fist looking like this with the thumb on top. You fold that in and you close that back down. Now, this tab is going into that port, so you have to utilize the double hinges here. They are really, really stiff, but I think I got it. Yes, there. Then you push the arms in and you lay that piece over there. These back pieces are for the wings, and for the arm mode, you are supposed to remove them. I've hurt myself pretty badly doing that, so I'm not going to do that, and I'm not going to fold out this peg either, just so you know what you should be doing, but I'm not going to do that for my hands' sake. I'm sure you've seen all the sores and blisters I've gotten from this one. And that's one arm done. According to the manual, you're supposed to have this up. I don't know if I like that better or not, but let's do as they say, shall we? For now. Then we come to the lower piece of the arm, and we now have to, I'm going to tab everything in, do something that's very scary. Because it's getting more loose every time. Oh, I'm so scared. And this is what could have made him an ab crunch, but no, not now for some reason. Because the ratchet. Okay. To get these out of the way, just fold them up for now. We're going to do a lot of things with them later on. We come down to the legs, open those up, and fold this out of the way, because we're going to hinge these up. We're going to do that this way. Voila. And as you can see, this is supposed to be flat here. So this is the correct orientation for that leg. You fold these down, and if you don't fold these down enough, then the hand will collide. So be sure to fold them all the way in, like so. Come to the underneath and do the obscene thing. You fold up his little, and you push these to the center. Close the claws. That's a fun sentence. Like that. And fold them in. Sorry, you're supposed to do that. Because you have a tab slot connection here that is supposed to happen. And that's fairly fiddly to do. Then you close this. Sorry, you have to do this first. Fold this up and forward as much as you can, and then you fold this down. And as you can see, everything just moves. So it isn't as easy as it looks. I'm not making excuses, I'm just stating the facts. Then you tap this in, and you got one leg done. But before we peg both in, we're going to put the little tail feathers in as well. So don't rush if you're doing this with me. Before you tab in, you're supposed to put these tail feathers in the tabs here. Like so. Now you can tab everything in, and you're going to have to readjust everything while you're doing that, I think. No, everything just stayed plugged in, and that is very nice. And that's how you want that looking. Fold these down and under. Close that up. Fold these down and under. And close that up. I am not bothered by these not pegging in because they're going to sit tight anyway, so that is okay. So turn the waist so the elbow joint is facing forward, and then turn the top of the arm forward. Then bring in the hand, slide it on, and as you can see, if you don't fold these in, that won't work, and it's a squeaky joint. Yes. And of course you can bend the elbow there. You have to push these in again. And this is an arm mode. And it looks really, really nice, I think. We have seen these details before. Now the head has jumped out. Good. We've seen these details before, just not in these configuration. And these claws are actually the same configuration as the paws from Ferocious, which is the other arm. And when you want to attach the combiner arm gun, you do this over those two pegs, so you have to fold this down. You can fold it up, but, well, I don't know. You do as you like. Let's get him to bird mode. Get that hand out of the way. Straighten that out. And we're going to have to turn these 2 times. Because you have to line everything up like that when you push it together. And it's so stiff and it hurts my hand. Let's do. Now, it's tabbed in. Okay. Ooh, fold out the legs, fold down his little, well, like that. Slide the legs to the outward position. Like that. Untab this, tab this back in. It's just easier. Hinge this out and fold it up. Fold these down. These need to be out of the way for now. We'll get them back later on. Because now we're going to fold out the legs and hinge them upwards. And there is a lot of joints that need to work together here. but that is how you want things looking. And when you are able to close this over that little indentation, you have got everything in the correct place, as I obviously have now. The important thing is to have the leg slid outwards, otherwise you might have problems. You splay these little toes out, or claws or talons. You can't really rotate the feet, which is kind of sad, but it works. What you do, you angle this up, so this rests in that skirt piece. Fold these up and tab them in, and that's one leg done. Now, if you want, you can have the skirt pieces up if you don't want these legs leaning on them. It's a security measure, so the ball joints don't break in there, and they actually work as skirt pieces for these as well, so I know, it works. Okay, tab the legs in together like so. Now we can fold these down. Both sides, of course. And these can be splayed out however you want, in any configuration. I usually just have them like that because I think it looks best. Now, if everything lines up, those yellow pieces should come inside of this little tail piece there. Not to really hold it together, but still. And you fold that down, and you can splay these out as well. So you get a bigger tail, like so. And that's the lower body done. Now comes the tricky part. I'm going to open up these wing sections. And as you can see, you can rotate the arms in underneath, and then you fold these wing pieces down. And you're going to have to manhandle them outwards, like so. We'll do that one more time because it's kind of... I'm just going to fold this up, shall I? Yeah. You have to tab this in here later on, so you can get that to that position right now. Fold that down and rotate this up. As you can see, there are a lot of things to do and very little space to do it in. Yep. And then you fold that out to the side. And this is where the wings are going to go later on. Pull the head out, so it looks like this. Push this back in. And first, we're going to turn this arm. And this tab is going into that port, and it's going to get loose during our little fiddling here, so we're going to have to replace it several times. And we have to use those double hinges to get everything down, and you have to stay tabbed in there or everything will just move to I don't know what. Angle the head between the arms, and now they come off again. These pieces are going to be the neck for the bird. So fold these out, fold the back of the head down, and angle this up. And now you have these red pieces, and they should line up with the ports in the neck joint, like that. And now we're just gonna have to do that on both sides. This is doable, it's just you have to redo things, and I don't really like that. There are two little tabs on each side of the head that goes into two ports, and there are two tabs in here, so you have to angle everything just right, so it just slides in like it should, and then raise the head up, fold these in, and now we retrap these. You come to the back, you fold these parts down, and fold those down, the shoulder parts down, and that is how you want that looking. Now he can actually stand, and we need to splay out his toes a bit. And before we get the wings on, let's take a look at articulation and, of course, the beautiful detailing here. You can move the mouth open and close. It's on that little hinge inside. You can tilt the head a bit, but the more you tilt, the more things plop out, as it just did there. But otherwise a very beautiful bird head. I imagine him sounding like an eagle or something like that. We're going to hook up the wings here later on. And these can be splayed out like that if you want to. I think he has a bit of a hollow bum, but maybe that's just birds, and I don't know birds, so there you have him. You have actually also the waist joint still, so he can look at you like, what? Why is my neck like this? I don't know. I have no idea why this is so hard. But you don't have to have it tabbed in, so that's okay. Okay. You can flap them out to the side, and the fun thing here is he is very stable. He's not falling over whatsoever. And you can see this magnificent wing span. I think it's about 20 inches wide. So it's as tall as my Scorponok. It's very difficult to get him into frame due to the fact that he is so large. You can angle these however you want. You can have these going forward so you can shoot stuff. You can get his guns in, and you can put these guns either up top or, it's a stiff joint, underneath in the same tab because it goes straight through. Like that. I don't know which I prefer, on the ups or the downs. I don't know. And to finally speak about the articulation of the wings, you have 1, 2, 3, 4 hinges here at the base. Then you have a hinge out here, and you can actually rotate that all the way up and about if you want to. You can splay this one up or down or wherever. And this one goes out to the side, like so. And this is in the wrong configuration, I see. Let's put him down, shall we? Okay. You can splay this up or down. You can splay the feathers out in any direction you feel like. And this is a double feather, so his wingspan can be really, really big. And he fills my set with ease. This is supposed to be up. Forgetful me. And now for comparison in bird mode. I hope I get these bots in frame because I'm bringing in his leader. And they are both quite large. Let's move you out a bit. Your tail doesn't have to be in shot. Get out. And they're quite big, and this is quite epic, and we're going to take a look at him in the next video that's coming up in a couple of days. And after that, we are combining them. Oh, yes. I'm so looking forward to that because I'm going to combine them for the first time with you watching. Now for my conclusion. This is an utterly epic bot. I know he's very stylized, and all us G1 fans might react to that, but he still looks amazing, and he's so big. When you hold him, he actually feels like a little bird, or a crow-sized bird. So it's very realistic in that aspect. The quality is good, the transformation is simple and fun, the modes look amazing, and he will stand the test of time. I'm not sure about the gold color, if it's paint or if it's in the plastic or not. Just time will tell, I guess. If you know, please tell me in the comments. I'm really trying to find faults with him just so I can, drag the score down, but I really can't. It's a bit fiddly, some of the transformation, but when you know what to do, you get there in the end, and that's all that matters. The neck of the bird is problematic. Maybe it's just my copy, and I'm going to think it's just my copy, so I won't subtract any score for that. So his masterpiece score is 9 out of 10, and that's just great. So it's a strong recommendation from me. And soon we will be able to combine them and look at the glorious Predator King, or as Cang Toys call him, Thunder King. But I think that's it for today. Thank you for watching, and as always, take care.